Welcome to Fulgrim's Weekly Crusade number 3. I'm going to be talking a little bit about what's been going on in Eternal Crusade this week for me and for heavy bolters in general. It's been a pretty quiet week on the forums, and with no patches or hotfixes either, this is going to be a short video. The only consistent topic on the forums I've paid attention to this week has been player behaviour. A handful of threads started or became about how to deal with toxic behaviour and what that constitutes. There seemed to be two camps being vocal, those that preferred some sort of measures being taken to prevent players from being rude, and those that thought the first group was being whiny, salty, or crying about hurt feelings. The term safe space was thrown around in a desultory manner by the second group. Though I feel that safe spaces aren't necessarily appropriate for a competitive video game, I don't think it's unreasonable to expect players to behave in a polite, friendly and sportsmanlike manner. I have no problem with shit-talking banter. I shit-talk my friends, my colleagues and those family members with whom I have that kind of relationship. But these are people I have an established rapport with. I don't think that you can banter with someone without that rapport. It's just being a jerk. And if your enjoyment of the game is in any way contingent on you being allowed to reduce other people's enjoyment of the game, then I don't think that you're a good person. There were also a couple of short threads with gripes around matchmaking algorithms and small matches. During the week, the match size seemed smaller, but more likely to be imbalanced. Odd things start happening, like a match starting with only a handful of players, even on the larger maps. Or a match running for 10 to 15 minutes with a low population stalemate, only to be swamped and overrun in the last 5 or so minutes that it takes to capture everything. Or even the 10 loyalists versus 4 Eldar match I had once. But given that the plan for release is not to be match based, spending time on the matchmaking algorithm doesn't seem that worthwhile to me. It just needs to be good enough to make matches, and it's good enough at the moment. Improving that would be nice, but I don't think that they should spend a lot of effort on improving it. As I said last week, I thought it would be a good idea to finally branch out a bit from Loyalist Heavy Bolter and see what it feels like from the other side of a few things. This week, I've tried out Eldar Dark Reaper and Dire Avenger, Chaos Aspiring Sorcerer, and then back to Loyalist for some tactical and some ground assault. I'm a terrible, terrible ground assault. I played a match as Eldar versus a Loyalist on Harkus. It was a strange experience. It was an even team size, but there were only about 7 or so of us per side. It felt like we weren't a match for the Loyalists, unless we outnumbered them by more than 1, but overall the game was going well for us. We were driven back to B, but we defended to time out. I found much the same going up against Eldar as Loyalists. On a small scale, us Marines trounce the Eldar, especially the jump pack assaults, but the overall match tends to be well fought and close. On the Chaos side, I quite like the playstyle of the Aspiring Sorcerer, both because of the mechanics in general and the ease of use of the Stream of Corruption. I found that all I had to do was hold aim and fire at the same time and drag my reticle over a target until it latched. Once latched, I just had to keep them on screen. I did have one match where this wasn't working so well, but that same match had it taking longer to kill than usual in general, including 2 of us sorcerers channeling on a target for 10 seconds or more, so something screw was going on in that match. By far the strangest thing to me, though, was being on the other side of the melee equation. I know what it's like to be on the receiving end of an unstoppable onslaught of fast attacks, but I was never able to replicate this as a ground assault myself. When I'm getting attacked in melee, a single fast attack interrupts my shooting and staggers me long enough for the next one to land, essentially stun-locking me. Once a solid hit gets through, I can't defensive bash, I can't dodge, and I can't clang with my own fast attack. This is true for me as both Devastator and Ground Assault. However, if I try to fast attack spam myself as Ground Assault, my opponents still seem able to shoot, dodge, defensive bash or clang. Given that one time I noticed a dodge roll go halfway through before rubber banding back into a stagger, I suspect that my latency simply prevents effective melee, which essentially shuts me out of playing melee classes. My ground assault specific experience aside, my biggest issue in melee is defensive bash flat not working for me. I've seen a lot of complaints around dbash spam, and I can see the reasoning. But on the other end of the scale is me, who cannot use it unless it's perfectly timed and lined up, and is only good for 1, maybe 2 fast attacks, and the damage isn't going to win me any duels. In fact, the Garrison Dummies list the damage as 0, so only using dbash is only going to prolong my death. Another thing I've noticed this week, since I've been playing a bit more often, is that at the times I usually play, playing during the week is different to playing during the weekend. The match sizes are smaller, the mix of classes seems different, and the player's skill seems more varied. The whole experience feels different, and sometimes friendlier. One big difference is that the smaller match sizes reduces the melee clusterfuck. It also feels like, when facing chaos, that there's a lower proportion of both melee and sorcerers. Magon in particular doesn't devolve into a claustrophobic scrum on the inside of point A as often. Overall, it feels like chaos is harder to beat on the weekends than during the week. Much more even chances during the week. Eldar I've found to be a good fight whenever there are enough of them to make a decent match. And that's all I have to say this week. Thank you for listening. Give me a thumbs up below, subscribe or comment. I'll see you next week.